The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making healthcare better for all. Share the light on Triad Today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to another edition, the first of 2026 of Triad Today. We're so glad you could be with us, coming to you from the Kernersville Auto Museum. We'll tell you more about them later on, and later on is when the roundtable shows up. We'll get into all sorts of controversies with them. Where we want to start though is a really good friend of ours here on the show, and he has a special guest. I'm going all the way to the far right, and remember to say hello to Hank Henning, Manager of Local Government Community Relations for Duke Energy. And Hank's special guest is Brian Hahn, CEO of the Greensboro Urban Ministry, which does great work. We're going to learn about that in a second. Good to see both of you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Hank, let me let you kick it off. You sent me an email about something called Share the Light. What's Share the Light Fund all about, and why have you invited Brian?
Yeah, so early this winter, last December, we had some really cold days. I thought it'd be a great opportunity to talk about how we handle our customers who might be having trouble paying their electric bills, whether it's families or individuals and so forth. And so the Share the Light Fund is a fund that we do through our Duke Energy Foundation, and we do it to help those struggling individuals and families. And we will match dollar for dollar up to $500,000 annually.
Wow.
And I thought it'd be helpful to bring in one of our partner agencies. For Guilford County, we have one in each county.
Right.
Brian Hahn with the Greensboro Urban Ministry to talk about once the funds leave, how do we actually help administer it to folks in need.
Brian, let's just remind people, what's the mission of Greensboro Urban Ministry?
Yeah, Greensboro Urban Ministry serves the greater Greensboro community, food, shelter, and support. We have one of the largest shelters in Guilford County. We feed a lot of hungry folks every day, and with partners like Hank and Duke Energy, we're able to provide support to our neighbors in need.
Yeah, that kind of contribution from Duke, I imagine it really helps sustain your mission, right?
Yeah, just to give you an idea, last year alone, we served over 350 households. Those are families working hard to put food on the table for their kids, struggling to pay their light bill, their gas bill, and we're really able to, frankly, not only meet a crisis, but prevent many of those that may enter homelessness or other forms of insecurity.
Well, absolutely. How great is the need right now, the way you assess it? I don't know if you have the exact statistics, but for this area.
Well, just to give you an idea, we're serving every day about 150 households just in food, 700 hot meals a day, no questions asked. And we're seeing a lot of folks who are just vulnerable, right? They're one crisis away. I had a mother, 6 kids, working hard to put food on the table. She lost child care. She was at risk of homeless because she had to pay her utility bills.
Right.
We were able to come alongside, meet those bills, both her power and her gas bill. She got a job back, she got child care, and today she's stable, healthy, secure. I mean, that's what we get the privilege of doing.
I just think that's great. In just a minute, I'm going to put up a website, but now I know you accept monetary donations.
Yes.
Do you also need volunteers for
Every
anything?
day.
For
yes.
what would they do?
Well, primarily with our food operation, it takes not only staff, but it takes a lot of volunteers. We run a client choice pantry, so folks don't get a box of food, they get a grocery cart to shop. That takes a lot of volunteers, and certainly we also need help with our Potter's House Community Kitchen because we're serving a lot of meals every day. But there's other ways to plug in with families, with our shelter needs. We will plug you in if you want to get involved in the mission.
Right. So, I know you welcome anybody who wants to volunteer and help out. And Hank, as we wrap up, I guess all of this that Brian's talking about is really consistent in his mission, consistent with the mission that you guys have at the foundation, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're just proud to have partners like Greensboro Urban Ministry. I encourage people to go to our website and look at their respective county for the partner agency that we have in those, but we're just proud of these partnerships we have. We want to help as much as we can.
Well, speaking of websites, I want to do several things here up on screen. First, GreensboroUrbanMinistry.org. GreensboroUrbanMinistry.org gives you all sorts of information about the organization, how you can help, how you can donate, how you can be a volunteer, the services are available, and how you can maybe apply for those services as well. You can also go to duke-energy.com/share the light, which will tell you more about this wonderful program that the foundation is doing. And then, of course, the basic website for Duke is duke-energy.com, where you can go through their various portals and learn more about it. To Hank and to Brian, thanks for both of you for what you're doing to help so many people.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, guys. We'll be right back after this.
I am so
Why
frustrated.
can no one help me?
Waiting
This
is
is a
the
nightmare.
worst. I think it's
Healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all. Starting with you. Yes, you, Daryl. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting your benefits, prescriptions, and details all in one place. Convinced?
No. But it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina. Making healthcare better for all. Starting with you.
The world's brightest are Fulbrights, Goldwaters, McNairs, and Spartans. Prestigious doesn't have to be expensive.
And we know you will make a difference wherever you go.
UNCG. Find your way here.
Back now on Triad Today, and we welcome a familiar face to the program. She shows up on the round table from time to time, and will today as well later on in the program, and we love her to death. Wendy Poteet is President and CEO of Shift Ed. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, let's just remind everybody very quickly, what's the mission of Shift Ed?
Shift Ed's mission is very simple: to boldly accelerate student potential.
All right. Now, we also know that a lot of people, when they have heard of Shift Ed, they say, oh, yeah, that's that organization that does so much great work with scholarships for high school kids going to college. But y'all start a lot earlier.
We start a lot earlier. We are a cradle to career backbone nonprofit that starts working with kids as early as pre-K, and we follow them all the way through to make sure that they can obtain high wage sustaining jobs.
Now, you sent me an email one day about something having to do with the Guilford Education Alliance. So I guess I'd like to ask, what is that? And how are you now aligned with that agency, and what's it all about?
Guilford Education Alliance was an organization that was started decades ago, so it has a history in Guilford County of advocating for the school district and advocating for teachers. We have been partners in this work for a very long time, but we actually got together and said, how can we create more impact? And we strategically aligned back in November, and we are now running some of the services that Guilford Education Alliance offered to the community.
Well, give me an example of a service when you talk about this, because you're talking over my head a little bit when you're talking about two great groups aligning. Give me an example of a service.
So we want to have more impact, and we want to be able to broaden that footprint, right? So the Teacher Supply Warehouse, you've ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Teacher Supply Warehouse. We want to make sure, historically, on an annual basis, teachers spend more than $2,000 to $3,000 out of pocket buying supplies for their classroom. The Teacher Supply Warehouse is built so that the community can support our educators, so that they don't have to spend money out of pocket to furnish the things that they need in their classroom.
Yeah, they work hard enough as it is and really need to be paid more. All right, tell me about Principal for a Day. You also put that in an email to me a couple weeks back. Principal for a Day.
This is another legacy program from Guilford Education Alliance. So March 4th this year, Principal for a Day gives community members the opportunity to step inside of a high school and shadow a principal for half of the day.
Oh, okay.
To actually see what's going on in the classroom, what's going on in the school, what do our educators deal with on a daily basis, and then to really think about how you can plug in to be more of a supporter and an advocate of the school district.
That's kind of neat, get the inside view of that. Now, there's also something called the Arbuckle Award. I confess I don't know anything about it. I want you to tell me what the Arbuckle Award is all about, and who does that honor, or what is it all about?
Margaret Arbuckle is a champion for education. She is a trailblazer in this area, and she was the executive director of the Guilford Education Alliance for many, many years. And a lot of the programs that I've already talked about were things that came under Margaret's leadership. The Margaret Arbuckle Award will actually be given out at Principal for a Day at the luncheon that follows being in the schools, and that award will be given out to a champion for education at that luncheon on the day of Principal for a Day.
Could the champion be, does the champion need to be an educator or an elected official or just a regular person? Or
it is all of the above, but it has to be someone that you look at and say, they are about business and they mean the best for our educators.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, let me circle back on something before I forget about the Teacher Supply Warehouse. how is that doing right now? Is there a shortage? Do you need more things going into it, or what?
We always need more, and you're going to hear us talk about this push for the community to give. We're working on partnerships right now. We're relocating. There are 2 sites, and a lot of people don't know that. So there's a site in Greensboro. There's also a site in High Point. So we'll be rolling out a lot of information in the coming weeks about the hours, when we're in operations, where we are, and more importantly, what we need and donations from the community.
Well, now, is it too late to register for principal for a day and the luncheon? Or?
It is not. It is plenty of time. It's on our website. You can sign up and we'll match you with a school. You can even go back in and tell us what your preference is. If you want to be at a Dudley or if you want to be at an Andrews High School, we can make that happen for you.
Right, up on screen. That's a good lead into this. Shifted.org. Shifted.org gives you all sorts of information. As Wendy said, you can register for the luncheon. It's not too late to do that. Also gives you a lot of basic information about the mission of Shift Ed and how it helps so many kids throughout the region. And we hope you'll go through those different portals and learn about that. Are you going to stick around for the roundtable?
I absolutely will.
Good deal.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today also airs on GTN Spectrum Channel 13 and streams on WFMY Plus, free on Roku and Amazon Fire. Back now on Triad Today. Always glad we can spend a few minutes with the good folks who work behind the scenes to keep things going throughout the city of Winston-Salem. And our good friend on the far right, we welcome back, of course, Pat Pate, City Manager of the city of Winston-Salem. Pat's special guest today on this segment, Dan Roberts. He's a project planner for the Winston-Salem-Forsyth County Planning and Development Services. Good to see both of you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Pat, let me let you kick this off. We've talked before, you and I, about all sorts of growth going on in the city, very positive growth. But what's going on with the Northeast area in particular, and how does that tie in with Dan?
Yeah, we've got some really exciting things going on. We've just adopted the 2045 plan. Both the city and Forsyth County have adopted it. And so the first area we're going to look at specifics is the Northeast area, which really includes a good economic development areas around the airport and Liberty Street for the city, and moving on out for our goal of having 25,000 new houses built in the Forsyth Winston-Salem area over the next 15, 20 years.
Yeah, Dan, let's piggyback on that. Why that particular area? Because people who live in different areas say, wait a minute, what about our area? Mm-hmm. Why that particular area right now, and what are your goals?
Yeah, so with the completion of the Beltway, it's really important to plan for this area that we're going to see a lot of stimulated development because of the completion of the Beltway, and we think there's going to be a lot of construction and new housing units and new infrastructure development in that area, and so that's what we wanted to focus on first.
When I did your introduction, I made sure I got this right and said, because Pat wanted me to mention Winston-Salem and Forsyth County is your purview. Mm-hmm. So in that regard, I mean, how many agencies do you need to coordinate with?
There's several. So, in particular, we need to deal with the utilities department for the city, and then as well as any sort of NCDOT, so the Department of Transportation.
The state, the county, everybody's coming in.
Absolutely.
But now, how are you going to balance the ball there with everybody's got their own long-range plan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a complex mechanism, and so we're in constant communication with all of these departments to make sure that our plans are on the same page with each other and that we're communicating with each other so that we're not stepping on anybody's toes and that we're all in coordination.
Is it working pretty good so far?
So far, so good. Yes,
yeah.
sir.
And if it wasn't, you wouldn't say it in front of Pat.
No, sir.
No, now, I understand from an email that you sent me that you're having a series of public meetings coming up. Now, what's the purpose of those specific meetings?
So for these meetings, we want to have the community come out and engage with us and share their input. We really want to hear from people that live and work in this particular area. And so the first meeting will be on January 28th at Forsyth Tech Community College at the Transportation Center, which is located in the area plan. And we just want the public to come out and engage with us and share their opinions and the things that they see and deal with every day.
Well, now, why should people attend this? I mean, they might say, look, I'm busy, Dan. I mean, why should I be there?
Well, we think it's really important for people to have their voice heard, and we really want to have that input from the public because this plan really affects them on a daily level, whereas the Forward 2045 comprehensive plan is very large, big vision. This one is more of a daily occurrence for the people that live in this area.
And I'll give the city website in just a minute. When I do that, is there a portal or someplace people will navigate to find out about that, or do you go to a different website so they'll know about the public meetings?
Yeah, so you can link through our planning and development website on the city website, but there's also forward2045.com, where people can go and review information about the public meetings and all of the associated
see the materials.
Pat, let me get provincial as you wrap this thing up for us. People that live in other areas of the city, as I alluded to a minute ago, they're thinking, well, this is great, Dan, but what about our area? So I guess my question to you is, what you and Dan are working on with this Northeast area and your goals, that really should be of a benefit and concern to everybody, right?
It's absolutely. The planning process is countywide and includes all of the cities. So it really affects everybody. And if we can improve traffic, if we can improve housing conditions, if we can improve economic development of one part of the city, all of the city benefits from that. In fact, all of the county benefits from that. So
Absolutely.
It really does help everyone.
Absolutely. All right, I want to put up on screen the general website for the city is cityofws.org. Of course, stands for Winston-Salem. That's cityofws.org. And to Pat Pate and Dan Roberts, I really thank you both for what you're doing, working behind the scenes. People sometimes don't know all the hard work you guys do, but I appreciate it, and I just wanted to let them meet you for a while. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
I got free meals. What do you mean? No, seriously, how much did you pay us? I didn't pay anything. I learned how to cook all of these fresh foods that were delivered to my house. Everything in that grocery bag that's fresh, I had a recipe for it, and I know how to cook. It encouraged us to eat better, to shop better, make better decisions.
Back now on Triad Today, I have not seen this lady for several years now. It's so good to sort of be reunited with her because she does such great work at Alamance Community College. Sarah Harden is Associate Vice President there at Alamance Community College, also a noted athlete who played basketball at UNC Wilmington in the day. Not that long ago.
Not that long ago.
No, that's right. Good to see you.
Thank you. You as well.
You know, we've talked about before how Alamance Community College, like any community college, it should not and is not in an island to itself. And so I want to talk with you for a couple seconds about how you engage the broader community and make sure that the community's voice is reflected in what you're doing at the school. So sort of give me your approach to that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So like you said, we don't want to be viewed as, you know, someone that's hidden on the island. We have worked so hard to deepen our roots in our community. So whether that's through student testimonials where we really talk about, you know, all the great things that's happened at the college and how it's affected their life, how it's impacted them. But we've also worked really hard to strengthen our relationships with our business and industry partners as well.
How do you do that?
So we have a great team, a workforce development team that is out in the community every single day, building those relationships with CEOs and starting those conversations. And then from there, you know, it's a great warm handoff to our leadership team as well. And so building those relationships and just strengthening that is really strengthening our workforce in return.
Yeah, and you know, there are people who will be watching this. They'll say, hey, I've heard about Alamance Community College. I've talked to people who've gone there. They love it. But you know, I don't go there, and nobody in my immediate family goes there. So what do I really care about the impact that the college might have on the overall area?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, the realm of college in general is changing. The landscape of it is changing. And I think with that, great emphasis has been put on the community college because, you know, we're really in the community. We know what industries are coming. We're able to move and change on a dime and turn programs around. And that really strengthens our workforce development. And I think that is the biggest impact that we have. And I think that is in itself what makes the community college system as strong as it is.
Yeah, and you guys at the college are really sort of helping to attract jobs because, look, let's face it, if people wanted to come to the Alamance, Guilford, Randolph areas, they're not going to come if they have a lot of employee need and there's no training. But you provide that, and as you said, you can flex. So, I mean, how do you sort of work with those business partnerships to make sure your courses are training people for what they need?
Yep, so I think relationships in general is going and having meetings with these employers and finding out what they need. I think our leadership team is very forward thinking. So, you know, we have to be addressing needs now, but we have to anticipate needs that are coming, you know, in the future as well. We have a great chamber in Alamance County. You know, I was on the phone with them earlier today talking about industry needs and, you know, things that are coming in the future. And so having a strong partnership especially with the Alamance Chamber, but really, partnerships just with the business community in general is how we're able to do that and do it effectively.
I don't think, you and I had a conversation before, I don't think I ever asked you this, but where did you grow up and what did your parents do?
Yeah, so I grew up in Alamance County, and my mom, she is an executive assistant at a larger church in Chapel Hill, and my dad works in the trades.
All right, so then who or what led you to a career in education? Because obviously you were on that track to play basketball and a great basketball player. I mean, was it a teacher, a parent, somebody that sort of pointed you in direction of education?
So aside from playing basketball, I also coach basketball as well. So I coach at a charter school in Alamance County. And I think just working with, the youth in general is very inspiring. And so, not that we only serve the youth population at ACC, but
right.
to be involved in education and truly make an impact in my community really is what got me started at ACC. And then I just truly believe in the mission of a community college. And I think that believing in that is what has kept me at ACC.
Well, I'm glad it kept you. And on screen, Alamancecc.edu. Of course, the CC stands for Community College. That's Alamancecc.edu. I want you to check that out because there are a lot of different portals you can go to find out about course offerings and all sorts of things. For you businesses that are listening in and watching to this program, get involved and help out because those partnerships are important. Sarah Hart, thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back after this.
At Sutton Brothers, we're confident we can help you solve your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs.
So confident that we'll fix it or it's free. Our highly trained technicians will diagnose your problem and fix it with either a repair or replacement.
And if we can't fix it, you won't pay the trip fee.
So the next time you have a problem, call us.
We'll make sure you're completely satisfied.
Guaranteed.
Call Sutton Brothers today and be confident things will be done right. Schedule online at suttonbros.com.
Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making health care better for all. The Roundtable is brought to you by Sutton Brothers, locally owned and operated and serving all of your HVAC, plumbing, and electrical needs. Back now on Triad Today, just about time for the Roundtable. A quick shout out to the good folks here at the Kernersville Auto Museum. Come out and see it. It's free to come through here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's great, lots of history. Also a shout out to our new sponsor of the Roundtable, Sutton Brothers, and I hope you will call them for your needs. I don't know what are your needs.
What are their needs?
Well, you can call them for anything. All right. Now, here's the first. They're plumbing and heating and all that stuff. Okay.
Well, I need them then. Call them.
Well, you can call them right after the show. All right. Of course, Ogie Overman and his heating system, and Wendy Poteet, President, CEO of Shift Ed, Mr. Theater, Dave Briggs. Here we go. As of this week, 5 states now prohibit the use of food stamps for purchasing soft drinks and junk food. 13 other states will follow. Retailers say these restrictions will cost them billions of dollars. Government officials say it'll promote better nutrition. Very quickly, guys and gals, would you like to see North Carolina enact new restrictions on food stamps? Ogie?
Not really. I don't think that's quite fair. I mean, they're already at the bottom of the economic scale, and a lot of people drink a soda with their meal anyway. I mean, it's kind of part of their diet, and Diet Coke is not that bad for you, really.
Wendy?
I think I'd like to see us focus more on giving better access to healthy foods at a cheaper price and not make what you can afford to buy punitive.
All right, good point, Dave.
Yeah, I agree with that. The other thing is that maybe these retailers will earn more by selling more nutritious food if they can lower the price with that as well.
Going back to Wendy's incentive thing too on that. All right, last month, following a year in which over $40 million of debt was discovered, 2 members of the Winston-Salem Forsyth County School Board said, quote, things began to deteriorate, unquote, as soon as the board stopped having a prayer at each meeting. Guys and gals, do you accept that premise? And should prayer be reinstated at such meetings as well as at schools? Ogie?
Well, it's hard to connect those two really to me. I mean, I believe in prayer, but I have to think that has nothing to do with the fact that they're incompetent.
Right.
Come on.
Wendy?
I'm with Ogie on this one. I'm a praying woman, but governance and accountability is what they should be focusing on and not prayer.
I agree with that. While I'm a firm believer in the power of prayer, I don't think it got him $40 million in debt.
Okay. A Georgia woman was recently ordered to leave a local restaurant because she was breastfeeding her baby. The owner told her he does not allow that in his restaurant. Guys, do you defend the owner's rights or do you defend the woman's rights? Ogie?
Well, actually, I side with the woman. I think that's a natural right that you have to nourish your child, and they could have an area for breastfeeding if they really. If lady said, I've got my child, they could have a little area in the back somewhere.
Well, she's out in the main dining area, Wendy.
Yeah, I've been in the main dining area before. I breastfed 3 kids, and when they're hungry, it's nothing appropriate about feeding a child.
Really?
And the people that are looking at it as something different are the ones that need to question what they're thinking about.
Excellent point, Dave.
I wonder sometimes if we don't have the full story here. Was she being discreet? And I think so. The owner has an issue, but the woman definitely has an issue. If she's discreet feeding her child,
Does she
I
need to
see
be
nothing
discreet?
wrong with that.
Does she need what, Wendy?
Does she need to be discreet?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I guess. I've never breastfed.
Me either.
I have.
Well, and you've said you've done that in the restaurant before, right? Okay, all right. Denmark has recently ended its national postal service because most people and businesses correspond digitally. In the meantime, a small private company is handling the dwindling volume of mail in that country. Here's the question. Do you think the United States will ever go all digital with no mail being delivered? And if so, how soon would that happen? Ogie.
I don't see that happening, and I hope it doesn't. I mean, my dad and uncle were both career postal employees, and I have a great respect for the post office, and I don't think it'll happen. I mean, I get 10 pieces of mail every day. You know.
Well, I mean, I send out, Christmas cards and stuff, and Pam writes to people, and there are people in Denmark who are upset about that. Wendy?
I don't think we'll ever see that happen. I do think we need to have an overhaul of the system because $9 billion in losses is probably not a good way to run an organization.
Yeah.
Right. Dave?
Well, I sure hope it doesn't happen. Like Ogie, I had two people in my family who work for the USPS, and frankly, I love getting cards. Even I don't even mind the junk mail.
Right. Okay. You don't mind junk mail?
No.
Okay.
As long as it's a bill.
All right. As long as it's somebody paying me, I don't
Or not
mind
a
it.
bill.
All right. Finally, guys and gals, childhood collectibles. I was thinking about this over the holidays. Childhood collectibles are bringing big, big money at auctions these days. So I wanted to ask you all here as we enter the new year, because I've never asked you this before. What did you collect as a little kid, Ogie?
If we had only known. I collected baseball, basketball, and football cards.
Okay.
After the season was over, I'd pack them up by team and go down on the corner and set up a card table and sell them and take that money and buy football cards.
Right.
Do the same thing with basketball.
But you don't have them now.
Don't have a one.
Wendy.
Well, I got one, Ray Jablonski.
All right, Wendy.
I can't think of a single thing I collected.
I thought you collected boyfriends when you were a little
No,
girl.
I collected whoopings.
Dave, what did you collect?
Yeah, like Ogie, I collected baseball cards. I also collected Man from Uncle cards.
Okay.
And I wish I had those.
All right.
Really.
All right, well, that's good to know. So if you find any of Dave's Man from Uncle cards, send them in. That's all the time we have. Oh, except for this. Recently, a New Jersey putt-putt course was robbed. The vandals made off with a giant Humpty Dumpty statue, and police were asked what the status of the fairy tale egg was, and they said, we hope to crack the case soon. It's an egg, and they're cracking the case. They're not coming back next week. For all of us here at Triad Today, I'm Jim Longworth. We'll see you next time.